So today we're going to work on the lunge with the hip shift. This is also called a woodpecker with rotation, if you're familiar with foundation training. But I use this a lot for people who are stuck in a pelvic rotation, and we want to try to get the pelvis to rotate back around a stable femur. This femur is your big hip joint here, okay, that connects down at the knee. So we're going to start this in a lunge. So you're going to have 3 points of contact on this front foot, 2 on the back. So when I say 2 on the back, I mean the heel is lifted. And the hips, this is called your ASIS joint, are going to be focused straight ahead, like 2 headlights on a car. And I like to start by just pulling my hips upward. I've got the weight equally on the front and the back foot here. Okay, taking a deep breath there. Really feeling those foot contacts on that front foot. And then from here, what we're going to do is shift the weight forward onto that front leg and begin to pull forward from into the hip flexor here. So you're actually pulling the hips back behind you, but the chest is staying lifted. What's really important to recognize here is that if I'm looking from a side view, this knee is in line with this ankle. So never, what's pretty common here is you're going to see people come forward like this. That is taking the pressure actually off of that hip joint. So we want to come right here, get that stability, now go into hip flexion, right? So this knee stays right in line with that front foot. And another thing that we'll often see as people go into this lunge right here is that their torso will shift. You want to keep your torso nice and straight, okay? Another common thing will be that the foot will want to supinate, so keep the weight on the inside of that foot. Once you have this here, you should start to feel this in your left, if your left leg is forward, your left glute. From there, we're going to take this right hip and we're going to bring it towards, as if it's kissing this left inner thigh. So it's going to go towards that inner thigh. Now, the first thing that's going to want to happen is your foot's going to want to supinate, roll to the outside. We're going to keep that knee right over the ankle, come forward, turn. Keep that foot grounded. Feel the inside edge of that foot, and you're going to start to feel a lot of work here in your left glute muscle. Staying in that really good deep hip flexion, pull it back. The other thing to notice is the whole body's moving as a unit. So you're not actually twisting from the upper body. All the twist comes from the pelvis. Keep your hands on your pelvis here. Don't even worry about the upper body at this point. So if you're switching, starting here, both feet totally straight ahead. Take a look down. Upper body nice and aligned. Lift up. Shift the weight. So 80% of the weight is on that front foot. Push back, push those hips back until you feel that right glute muscle. From here, finding the weight on the inside edge of that foot. Okay, we're going to roll the pelvis over that hip joint. Staying in that deep hip flexion and come back up. It's challenging on the balance. And come back up. One more time. Hold, you might want to take a really nice deep breath there, feeling the inside edges of that foot, and come back up. That's the woodpecker with rotation. It's also called a hip shift. So if you know that you're rotated to one direction more than the other, you might want to do this twice as much on one hip than the other.